the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something.
I don't know what it is, but like Monday morning's just hard for me. So like I'll wake up and like my heart's racing for no reason at like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, what is going on? Like I feel like I just drank like 3 Red Bulls. Do you feel content?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think anybody ever probably does.
Yeah, no.
My thing, I got really sucked into Stranger Things.
Okay.
Fucking sick. Like that is a sick series. And like every single time there's a new series out, I'm just like, this is it.
You're like, I'm
You know
staying
what
up
I
all
mean?
night.
Yeah, like I'll take a whole day and I won't, but I will feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn.
You always, there's that little bit of shame afterwards.
Yeah, puking and rallying. I don't know how kids do that.
Yo, that stresses me out.
Yeah. Like when I want to puke, like I want to cry, like I'm crying. You know what I'm saying?
You're inconsolable. You're like,
Yes. Like I think the last one I went to, actually I don't even know if I was sober now that I think about it.
See, in my mind though,
I think it was my like grandma's birthday, so
you're like trying.
I was like, shit.
You're like,
I'm gonna need a drink.
sober.
So welcome to the Disclaimer Podcast. This is episode 16 with Mira, Gall. Gosh, I feel like we've like, it's almost been like one of those things where we didn't talk for a really long time after after middle school.
Yeah, last time I saw you, we were like prepubescent.
Yeah.
Really awkward.
But I feel like you're also the type of person where like you can just like see somebody again and like pick back up even after like 7 years.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Because I feel like that's almost what we're doing right now.
Yeah, we were just chatting for like
Yeah.
20 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, but like,
life in general.
yeah, that is true. And like honestly, when it comes to just like I've seen you around town before I had moved, you know, at work and different places here and there,
Yeah.
and like we've just kind of like chit chat about stuff. But
We've never really sat down and talked
Yeah.
since I
I
think
know
middle
it's been,
school.
I know it's been a while. Like middle school is crazy just to think about how much everybody's grown up and seeing like what other people are doing, you know?
I don't like thinking back to middle school. It was so awkward and gross. But at the same time, it builds character.
Yeah, I think that's how all chicks think of like middle school and high school. Is that true?
I don't know. I feel like they do, but they don't. Everyone has such a different like experience.
Yeah.
Something I talk to my girlfriends about a lot though is like middle schoolers nowadays. Because middle schoolers nowadays look like me at the age of 25.
Yeah.
And I tell my girlfriends a lot, and we've talked about this, it's like, I wonder if that is considered their awkward stage, and then they're gonna glow up even more, or
Yeah.
like, because I feel like that awkward stage is important to have.
I think so too. Maybe they just have it earlier. Maybe it's just elementary school where the awkward stage takes place now.
But that's not fair, because no one understands, like, it doesn't matter in elementary school as much.
I know. That is true. But I do feel like most younger kids look older for their age now.
It's
almost.
terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, so gosh. But it's been such a long time. And it's cool to, like I said, it's cool to see people do their own thing and grow up and everything. And one thing I did want to talk to you about was like what you've told me before, but I kind of want to know like your past, like where you were born and kind of like how you grew up, and then how was it with gosh, what is your dad's name? I always just remember him by Dr. Gall. Yes, Andy. Okay, so I want to kind of touch up on, you know, them and your parents and how far, you know.
Yeah, so as you know, both my parents are super white, as I'm adopted.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is sick though.
Yeah, it's
because
fun.
it's different.
It's very different.
You know what I'm saying?
It's different because, I mean, I grew up, I hear that all the time, like, why are your parents white? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. Figure it out.
Yeah.
PEMDAS. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I was born in the Philippines, adopted 18 months. I have one brother. He was also adopted. We're not blood related. But yeah, grew up here.
Yeah, it's just kind of normal,
I mean,
like
nothing super exciting.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
town.
It's just Junction. So, how much older is your brother than you?
I think 2.5 years or so.
I was gonna say, I know he's older. That's kind of all I knew, but I didn't know how much. Yeah. So, and then it's really crazy. Such a small world that your dad happened to be my dentist for like my whole lifetime, all the way up until he retired.
Yep.
And and I always thought that was funny because I was just like, yeah, I'm getting pulled out of school to go hang out with your dad and get my teeth cleaned. I thought that was really funny, but yeah, like, do you think the way you grew up, I guess it was such at a young age that process took place. Do you think the way you grew up has kind of maybe like changed you in a way that maybe someone like me that didn't have that same past, do you think that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean...
Do you take like challenges differently?
I mean, I was adopted at an age where I like, what's the word, subconsciously grasped things and like those things stuck, but I don't actually remember it.
Yeah, that is true. Because you said 18 months, right?
Yeah,
so you're way young.
Yeah, I was young enough to where I don't like actually remember it, but like my subconscious mind does.
Right.
I don't know, I think it was a lot different when I was younger, just growing up, because I mean, kids when they're young, they don't get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So growing up with a lot of like, why don't you look like your parents? Why are your parents white and you're not? It's like...
Yeah.
And as a kid, you don't always have the best response, even though like you know how to answer. You're just like, well, I'm adopted. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I bet you like that gets like kind of old after a while. Or back then, like in middle school, I feel like, did you have to answer that question a lot, or did you have to?
It wasn't as much that. It was because most people could put two and two together.
Yeah.
A lot of it was just like, like kids can be ruthless. It was just
that is true.
Oh, your parents didn't want you, or like they just
like
bring
internet
random
trolls
shit.
type
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Or just ask questions like, does it bother you that you don't like your parents are white and you're not? And I was like, no.
It's just so weird. I mean, like you said, kids are ruthless at that age too.
Well, they don't get it. We're young. We're naive.
Yeah. And then they're just saying shit just to say shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so the amount of times I go home and I'm like, Mom, I have a question. And she was like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't know, the kids asked.
Yeah. No, that I mean, it's cool and it's different. I think that's something that you can embrace and always like, be able to just kind of have under your belt and be able to just understand that.
Well, and it's fun because, like, now I'm at the age where, when people find out I'm adopted, they're like, that's really neat. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's a story. That's fucking awesome. So, I mean, it obviously changed as I grew up.
Yeah. But it's culture.
Yeah.
And, like, for me, I think, like, different cultures are super sick. Like, I have friends that are Venezuelan. I have friends from Canada. I have friends, and, like, I go and hang out with all of my friends all the time. And they just have, like, really cool stories, and like they just have just that different cultures, like the way they talk, the way they just do little things, you know what I'm saying?
I've always said that is one of my favorite. So I grew up, my parents spoiled my brother and I in the sense of traveling.
Yeah.
Because they spoiled us with experiences, because they found it really important for us to see and learn about other cultures and see how other people live. And that's why I think, I was blessed enough to have that growing up, but that's why I love traveling, is because you learn so much about so many different people and the different cultures and the different lifestyles, and it's like, this is dope. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite, I was gonna hit a segment, maybe we could just hit it now, but this picture,
oh God.
I actually stalked you. Not in a bad way, but I did want to hit a segment of where I kind of show you a picture while I was creeping, okay? And you give me some more context to like what happened. And I'm going to probably flash it, so everybody can see it. But it's this picture. You're in Memphis.
Yeah.
So how was that? I've always wanted to Tennessee. I wanted to move to Tennessee, actually.
Okay, so story behind that is my boyfriend at the time and I were like, we're bored. Let's do something. Yeah. And we were like, where would be fun to travel to? Right. And we're looking up, like, we want to go within the next week or two. And we're like, hey, cheap plane ticket. We don't want to spend an arm and a leg. Yeah. And we looked at, like, Nashville. We looked at a bunch of different places. And I was like, I always want to go to Tennessee. And we landed on Memphis. Yeah. And then as we like booked an Airbnb, booked our flights, and then we started like doing more research and didn't realize like how high the crime rate was in Memphis. And,
really? It's high.
Oh yeah.
I would have never guessed that though. That's something you don't think about.
It's not,
you know?
but like when you go on TikTok, we were like looking up things to do, and people are saying it's one of like the high crime rate. Like it's insane.
Wow.
So we literally sat down. We were like, okay, let's try and go to Nashville instead. Let's try. And what ended up happening is we couldn't get the Airbnb was like, now you're locked in. Sorry, so you're gonna lose out on $500 and some bucks if. So I was like, all right, we're doing it.
We're going. I don't give a shit if I die.
Literally. But that was, so we went for, I think a few, I want to say like close, like 5 days, 3 days. And it was so fun. The food was amazing. The people were amazing. Nothing bad happened. We booked so last minute that we got there and we went to get a rental car. Every place was like, because we were there for such a short amount of time, every place was like, we don't have any cars in stock, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no.
And then it got to the point where I was like, okay, there's this beat up Ford Flex that someone probably died in. Or like a Tesla for $2,000. And we were like, we're bumming it. And it was, that was an experience because that thing looked
hideous.
It was bad. It was.
So was it beat up on the outside or just the inside?
It was just, you picture like it's been through it. Like there's some stories, and like the rental place was just a dump. And the entire time my boyfriend at the time was driving, he would hold his steering wheel.
Like that. You're like baby wipes out.
It was. We tried to spend as like least amount of time as possible in that car as we could. And then I remember when we took the car back, I don't know what happened, but we like parked it. Next thing we knew, it was like getting put on a tow truck. So it was like we were the last ones to ever drive it. And the guy comes in and he's like, wow, you guys brought it back cleaner, or like it's really clean. And we're like, yeah, we were barely in it. Like we wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, you're just like trotting around town when you had to.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. We went to Beale Street. That's like one of the famous like hangout spots. Like Nashville has Broadway. There's live music. Like I said, the food was great, and that was right before we went on a haunted like tour of downtown Memphis. And we actually ended up meeting some other couples and spent like the next 2 nights, that because they were locals, like they were showing us different places like rooftop clubs and like bars.
Gosh,
it was really fun.
Yeah, I feel like Tennessee is just one of those places like you just have to go and experience it. You know? So have you ever, I guess with that being said, have you ever been to Nashville?
No, I want to so bad.
I know, I want to too.
I'm shooting a wedding in August, and the bride, because we're friends too, she reached out and literally like 2 days ago, and she's like, hey girl, we're having my bachelorette trip in Nashville in June. Let me send you the deets, and if you want to go, like, let's send it. And I was like, I want to, at the same time, I'm pretty sure, I haven't like triple checked, I think I have some sessions, some shoots.
Do you think they're like you can kind of maneuver them though?
I was thinking about it, but at the same time, I was like, how much do I want to drop? Because, like, there was flights, and then she sent me the itinerary, and it's one of those bachelorette parties where it's like, oh, we're going all out, we're going shopping, we're doing like all these like, activities, and I'm like, do I have that in me to just drop that right now? I don't know if I want to.
With that, I guess, with that being said, do you think, we'll kind of get into like your photography business and everything that you do with that. When you started it, what was kind of like, I mean, I think it's cool personally because it's idealistic, it's creative, and like you don't hear a lot of people really, I think a lot of people get into photography and then they just don't keep going, right? But that's with anything. I think you have to have some kind of passion for it to keep and continue to do so. So is this something that you see yourself doing forever? And is this something that you're trying to grow?
Yes.
Right.
I ideally would like to just do it for as long as I possibly can. And in my mindset, I'm like a forward thinker for sure. And obviously this is a ways down the road. But ideally, I like it because I run my own business and I make my own hours, And like, side note, like ever since I was little, I wanted to be like a mom and have a family.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is something I can still do and enjoy, and like feel like I'm contributing financially to my family, but also be involved with my kids.
Yeah.
Because I can do everything from home except for when I'm like at meetings or shoots.
Right.
I can edit, send out like, contracts, invoices. So I'm like, I can do it for as long as I want.
Yeah. No, I think that's really cool, because I think that's exactly why people start their own small business, or like, you know, something along those lines, is because you're able to create your own schedule. You have that freedom to do so, and then you can work when you want to work. I think that's cool. So
That's really nice.
you know, yeah, it makes life probably 10 times easier. It's something that I have yet to do, which I have always wanted to. I just got to find like kind of what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it could be this eventually. Yeah. But you know, I think it's just super cool of like what you're doing and how long you've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes grit. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard. I feel like it's one of those things where, I mean, you have to put yourself out there, and you know, building a clientele and a business, it's just like, it's hard. And we're in a smaller town.
Yeah.
And so that can be tough too. But it's terrifying, because it's one of those things, like, when I do this as a job, it's not like a 9 to 5 where it's a sure thing I'm going to have these hours where I'm going to get paid. It's like, all right, I need to make sure I'm bringing in enough clientele to keep up.
Yeah, to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's scary when like that's a factor.
Yeah.
But no, it's like it's bittersweet for sure.
Yeah, because like all the pressure's on you, and you just have to kind of develop that subconscious of like, I'm showing up for myself. You know, and a lot of people can't even get to that point in their life, I don't think, right? So they'll show up to their 9 to 5 for somebody else for their whole life and be miserable.
Yeah.
But they won't take time out of their day after work or after the 9 to 5 to start something on their own and show up to that and continuously do it, you know, every week, you know, even if it's not every day, at least, you know, 3 times a week to work on what they're trying to build.
It's like, I mean, I feel like it's like exactly how you put it. Growing up, we always try new hobbies and try new things.
Yeah.
And then you get tired of it, or it's you know, it's not working out the way you want. So it's like, all right, I'm over it.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And yeah, just kind of like what I just said. It just seems like people will show up and just do something that they hate for somebody else that really does. You know, you're just there for a paycheck. They don't even really care about you. You know.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it's so much of it though, like you said, is when you're your own boss, like it all falls on you. Like that is so much responsibility. Whereas if you just fucking hate your life and you're showing up to your 9 to 5 corporate job, like you don't have as much responsibility. So it's like, this sucks, but I'm gonna get paid and I could do the bare minimum.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like, if you want to put your head down and grind, you're going to have to do that for yourself, and it's like, well, I don't want to do that. Yeah,
and then you also have the potential, just like, you know, what we were talking about with pay, like, you get to a point where you can actually make your own schedule, and maybe it only takes you 3 months to make 30 grand a year, and not a full 12, like what most people make, you know, 30, 40, 50 grand, whatever that is. But if you're selling yourself enough, and if you're getting enough clientele in, and you're super busy for like a strict 3 months, you can make, you know what I mean? You can make really good money. I mean, I don't know how the photography business is in itself, but like I do know, you know, there are those things that you can get into and build, and you can be really busy for 3 months.
Yeah, I think, and it's hard because, you know, we have slower seasons. And we have like I'm diving headfirst into my busy season. It started like last month with the graduates and then weddings and all that stuff. Whereas winter was a lot slower.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then you have some months where it's like, okay, I have booked however many, whereas like another month I booked 3 times.
Yes.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
And it takes a mental toll on you too, because the way I see it, like the way I always explain, like I've explained it to my friends or other people, is like the gym, when you feel like you're like progress, and then you hit that plateau.
Yep.
And it's like, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
What can I change? What can I do differently?
Right.
To push past this?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of what that slow season is, or when you
Right.
feel like you're not building as much clientele. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No, 100%. And now that you mentioned it, I was actually going to talk about that too. You're big into lifting and all that fun stuff. I actually had someone on, I don't know if you know Tristan Dockstader at all. He went to Central with me, but we had a big old conversation in that episode about kind of like why he lifts and everything. Is there like a certain reason why you got into, you know, lifting and kind of keeping up on that? Or is this something that, like, do you see yourself maybe doing like a weightlifting competition?
I just want to be
Or
jacked,
you just,
bro.
yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Like, I go to the gym, like, I'm not an athlete, but I still go to the gym. I just want to stay fit. You know what I'm saying?
It's a long-term, like, health goals. I think a lot of it too is there's something about just seeing the progress and the changes that it becomes addicting. It's like, you know, I'm the biggest like muscle-wise that I've ever been, and I'm lifting heavier than I've ever lifted.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. It's like fun to see, and then just the different, and like you said, there's so many different types. There's CrossFit, there's like powerlifting, there's bodybuilding. It's like there's so many different forms of it, and it's really like, and the community is super chill. Yeah. I like all the people.
Where do you lift?
Mesa Fitness.
Mesa Fitness, yeah.
But I don't know, I do it mainly because mentally it makes me feel great.
Yeah.
And then also I'm like, I look like a unit, so that's kind of cool.
No, it is fucking cool. 100%. Like, I think that's really cool. Anytime that you can actually see progress that you made and it's affecting you personally. And like you said, I think mentally for me, it feels the same way. I said it with Tristan, and I'll say it again. Like, for me, it was never really looking forward to the workout. Like, I'm like, oh man, like I have to work out and I have to go and da da da. But once you get there, and then for me, it's like when I leave, like it's the feeling after.
Those endorphins just get released. See, like I'm the, I don't know, I have those moments where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna drag my ass to the gym.
Yep.
But surprisingly, it's just something I'm so into that, like, I will leave the gym and I'll go sit at home and I'm like, is it tomorrow yet? Because I want to go back. Like, I want to lift again. Yeah. Or sometimes I'll, like, do 2 first. Go.
I was going to say, do you do 2-a-days?
I've done it. I got to a point a few months ago where I was like, I lift in the morning and then do like 150 flights of stairs in the evening. And it was fun and it felt great, but at the same time, I started to like, okay, I need to slow down, I need to listen to my body, because if I trash myself or injure myself, I'm going to be out for a lot longer. Yeah. But, no, it's, I don't know, it's just it's a, I don't know how to explain it. It's just fun.
No, it is fun. So with that circumstance of kind of like how you live your life and how you kind of, you know, align, you know, what you do on your day-to-day schedule, are you a type of person that eats really good on top of it, or are you just like me where I go and lift and then I'll go and have like a piece of pizza after and I don't feel bad at all?
So it's weird. A lot of times, like if I meal prep and I have it available and I in my stupid adult brain, I'm like, okay, you have food at home. That's what parents used to say. Exactly. I get home and I'll just throw it in the microwave and I'm like, all right. And then it's amazing because like after I eat that, like I feel great. I'm like, all right, I ate it, I saved money, whatever. But then sometimes I leave the gym and I'm like, Chick-fil-A is right there. So I'm not doing a show or anything, I watch what I eat, but at the same time, like, I'll do some damage at like a McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. No, dude, I do the same shit. Like you know, like you feel like you feel like shit maybe after you eat it. But,
You do.
But you do not feel like shit. Like, and this is for damn sure, you do not feel like shit when you are eating
Oh
it.
my gosh,
You're like,
I
wow,
know.
this is what I needed. Like, this is so good.
And that's why, like, so many of the videos, like the joking videos or anything, like after the gym going to Chipotle or like
Yep.
Chick-fil-A, like it just hits different.
It does.
Like, yeah, okay, I'll go home and eat my meal prep and I'll feel like a responsible adult, like I
Yeah.
did something right. Or I can just stuff my face with processed food and be like, you know what, I'll make up for it tomorrow.
Yeah. No, like my thing is like, well, I went to the gym, so I guess it cancels it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I have, you know, I can do that. I have that space and time to do so now. But yeah, no, that's cool. Like I said, I kind of do the same thing, but I guess I'm not, I don't know if I'm trying to get like swole by any means, but like I'm just trying to, because I'm not an athlete, I'm not trying to like, you know, push myself to like, I'm going to hit like a max like every 2 or 3 weeks. Like, no, I don't do that. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do some high reps and then I'm going to get out of there.
You're just gonna maintain.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's awesome. So many people do that. I feel like I'm gonna get to a point, because everyone is different. And this is not hating on anyone
Yeah.
that does or doesn't work out. But me personally, I don't want to be one of those girls that's just a
Yeah.
whole ass unit. I want to
Yeah.
be toned. I want to be cut. I want to feel like I look feminine but also jacked.
Yeah. There's a
But-
fine line, and I know exactly what you're
Yes.
describing, because there are chicks out there you're like, wait.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, fucking all the power to you, because they're
Yeah.
just jacked as shit. But to me personally, I'm like, I don't want to look like that. So
Yeah.
I feel like once I hit that spot, and a part of me fears that like I'm gonna get into this mindset where I'm like, I'm not there yet, and I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
just keep going. You're like, I am not there yet, yeah.
But I feel like I'll hit that spot and then I'll maintain. That's what
Yeah.
I'll go to the gym to maintain it.
Right.
Versus going to just, and I also like, I wouldn't mind having a sleeper build.
Yeah.
Like, just throw fucking heavy weights around, but also don't look crazy jacked.
Yeah, that
That's-
is true.
I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think it's great to like go and maintain. A lot of people do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just kind of what I shoot for and everything. So, do you seem like, I mean, I feel like you're kind of like me. Like, there's always a voice running in the back of your head. And mine's like just really loud and it just like does never stop. You know what I mean? Like, you already know, Logan, like, you know, I just talk, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I couldn't even describe how much I talk to myself. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably, like, if I were to say everything that comes to my mind, it'd be really annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm getting at is, do you put a lot of pressure on yourself mentally, and does that lead you to work out more? Like, do you feel like you go, I mean, maybe you don't have to, like, struggle through anxiety or something like that, but, like, do you put a lot of pressure on yourself?
I do and I don't. So it's weird because, and it's such a fucked up concept, because in my mind I feel like I always feel like I can do better. I'm always anxious, feel like I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing well enough,
Yeah.
I'm not grinding hard enough. But at the same time, it's like sometimes I don't do jack shit about it.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm anxious, but then it's like I know what I need to do, but sometimes I just don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I feel like that's just in different areas of my life. In the gym, I'm pretty disciplined, but like other adult stuff, I'm just like
Yeah.
hard pass.
Yeah. Like all the boring shit.
Yeah, literally, like this again.
Yeah. Cause
So-
yeah, no, with me, like, I don't know what it is, but like Monday morning's just hard for me.
Yeah.
So like I'll wake up and like my heart's racing for no reason at like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, what is going on? Like I feel like I just drank like 3 Red Bulls and I'm like, what is going on? I think with me it's like if I don't know what I'm doing that day, so if I'm kind of uncertain of like maybe what I'm doing at work, it'll happen. But also if I feel like I'm not doing enough, it happened then too.
Yeah.
Like I'm a busybody. I think I have to stay busy and keep doing stuff, because then I'll sit around and think about, well, I didn't do anything for the last 2 weeks, so what did you think was gonna happen, Logan? You know what I'm saying? Like that's
It's
how
like
I
the
feel.
consequences of my own actions.
Yeah.
It's like shit.
So it's like I either feel anxiety or like pressure for, you know, setting podcasts up, having new guests on, and doing that, staying busy and keeping it rolling. and just kind of having that few minutes in the day where I'm like kind of like freaked out, and just like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing all this? Or just the flip, like I'll sit around and just think about what I'm not doing and how I could be doing more.
Okay, so you're a busybody.
Yeah, like I think I have to stay like busy or at least doing something, even if it's like going to the movies or just like I can't sit around.
Oh, see, if you're like, oh, you have a day off, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna sit and nap.
Yeah. No, that's cool though. I think that's a cool attribute because if I could do that, you know what I mean?
I'm a slut for naps.
Yeah.
It's bad. I can nap for hours.
Yeah.
I took one earlier.
No, that's sick though. I love that. Like, I love that. And I'm a person that, I don't remember the last time I took a nap. It's definitely been like probably over at least probably 5 months or 6 months. I think there was one day like 5 or 6 months ago.
Was alcohol involved though?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
At least you know.
I have had drunk naps. They do feel good.
Day drinking, you're like, yeah, I need a nap.
Yeah, but then you wake up and you're like, well, now I gotta just like keep drinking because now I just feel like kind of hungover after a nap.
I feel like the only time I do that is like, I feel like the correct setting for that is like on the beach or like in Mexico.
Yeah. When the sun
get shit-faced at 12 p.m. and then I'll wake up and it's like, all right, time to go back up to the room and shower, get ready for dinner, and it's like, say less.
Yeah. Gosh.
But no, doing that here on just like a Wednesday, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Exactly. You're like, all right, maybe I shouldn't have done this today. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I just think sometimes it's just like maybe I'm not like content with my life, so I just feel like I always have to do shit,
And that's hard. That can be so hard on your mental health.
Yeah. Do you feel content?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think anybody ever probably does.
Yeah, no. I always am like, I could be doing more, I could do better.
Yeah.
And then again, like I said, I get to that point where I'm like, but I'm gonna nap instead.
Yeah, like, okay, so I want to do better, but when can I fit in this nap?
Literally. Okay, I'm a nighttime thinker, and I feel like everyone is. Nighttime's when the thoughts are the hardest.
Oh gosh,
Like you see all the memes, all the tweets. It's like at night is when you're like, I'm gonna go to law school, be an astronaut. I'm gonna get up at 3 a.m. and work out for 6 hours. Like you have all these thoughts, and then you wake up and you're like, no shut up.
Yeah. I don't know why that happens, but that's exactly what happens to me.
It's wild.
Yeah. You're just like, okay, like in like 6 months I'm gonna have my like life figured out. You know what I mean?
Like, I've said that like 12 times.
Yeah. Dude, I've probably said so much absurd shit to myself, like right before I go to bed. Like, man, if I followed through on all that though, dude, I'd be so successful.
Dude, that's literally me.
Like Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Like I'd be super successful.
Bad. I'll have a thought process where I'm like, all right, eat clean, get on a better sleeping schedule, all this shit. I've literally, the next morning, I'll wake up and I'll be like, I'm gonna DoorDash breakfast.
Yeah.
And then it's like 10 a.m. and I'm like, shit.
Yeah, it's like one of like those McDonald's McGriddles.
Yeah,
or something.
and it's
You're
like,
oh gosh.
Here we are.
I had one of those the other day. Those were so good. I don't know why McDonald's breakfast hits different, but that does.
I think I've only had one of those like once in my life. Because everyone raved about them and I was like, never had them. I was like, what? I was like,
yeah, dude, you need to try those out. Speaking of food, I also had this weird thought. Came up I think yesterday. No, I think it was earlier today. You gotta pick one. And it's gonna be jalapeno poppers, fries, cheese curds, or onion rings. If you could eat one of those for the rest of your life.
Cheese curds, probably.
You're a cheese curder? I like cheese curds.
Yo, those slap. Because I feel like, I don't know, cheese just, you can't go wrong with cheese. But then it's just like fried. It's like.
Yeah, that is true.
Destroy my body, please, and thank you.
So do you like Buffalo Wild Wings? Or no?
Here's my thought process on them. Is they've taken so much of my money, but at the same time, I feel like they're also just like, not overrated, but it's not like this insanely amazing thing, but at the same time I'm like, I'll take subpar.
Yeah. 100%. So they have their cheese curds. I don't know if you've ever had them. Do you dip them in the caramel?
It's mad good.
You did? It's pretty, have you tried it though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've tried it.
Yes.
I'm a ranch girl.
Oh, yeah.
Ranch for everything.
Yeah.
In my life.
So that was the weirdest time when the guy came up to me. He was like, "Have you tried these with caramel?" And I was like, "No, they're fucking cheese curds, man. Like, just let me just eat them raw. I usually just raw dog these things, man. Like, let me just have my moment."
Yeah.
And then he came up to me and he was like,
he's like, dip it.
he's like, "Dip this." What did he say it tasted like? He said something. It was like it was so perfect of what he explained it as. I don't know if he said it tastes like a churro or what it was. I can't even remember what it was now that you said. But man, I was like, damn, this is good.
He peer pressured you.
Yeah, he did.
Are you easily peer pressured?
No, I think I was just, I think I was a little drunk that night. And I was open to like, hey, I'll dip some cheese.
I'll try anything twice.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly what was going on. So I think that's what happened that night. I think I just had a couple drinks and I was like down for the count. But I wouldn't say I'm easily peer pressured. Most of the time, I tell a lot of people no a lot. And I feel like a dick. That's the hard part about it.
See, I'm like, I don't succumb to peer pressure unless it's myself. And then the impulsive, intrusive thoughts take over, and it's like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah.
Game over. She's gonna go feral. It's like,
Yeah. No, that's a good question that you bring up, because I feel like there is a lot of people that get peer pressured, and then there's the other side of the society that does not, and they're not afraid to say no, and they're blunt with it.
And that's the thing, though. It's like, I grew up a people pleaser. I was always a yes man. I still struggle with that. But when it comes, and okay, I guess here's my thought process is a lot of times if I feel like it'll benefit them and not really mess up me or my life or schedule, I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll sacrifice a little bit of time for you. But like as far as like drinking, drugs, anything that like I know is going to heavily affect me, I have no problem saying no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So certain things I stand firm on, and then other things I just roll over.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's a cool attribute to have. I think you have to have lines drawn for sure. Because if not, then you can't just be a people pleaser. Like, you're just going to get rolled over all the time by people, and, they'll take advantage of you. So, and I think that's where I've been in my life is, like, I think at one point, I guess you could say I was a people pleaser. I think I've said no a lot, like, even when I was a people pleaser. But my thing is just, it's such a bad, like, habit for me, but, like, I'm not going to say that I'm the person that's my way or the highway, but I'm pretty fucking damn close.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I don't want to be that person.
But you know what you want.
Yeah. I think it's just because I am so kind of like goal oriented. You know what I'm saying? I like to just kind of stick to the plan. I don't like to waver from the plan. So when somebody like says we're doing this instead.
Okay.
Well, not like planner. I wouldn't say I don't have a plan. I don't write shit down. But like I have it in my head like what I have to get done this week. And if what I'm doing happens to fall on a Wednesday night and my friends are like, hey, we're going out Wednesday night or whatever, we're doing this, we're gonna go out to dinner or whatever, and I tell them no, I look like a dick, but it's because I want to do what I had planned on Wednesday night.
Yeah, but I feel like at the same time, if you have the right circle and you surround yourself with the right people, they get it.
They get it, yeah. Which they do, I think. Yeah. No, I think you have to have, you're right. You have to have that good circle of people.
Yeah, because I found, like, if I say no to something and you are going to shame me or make me feel like the worst possible person for it, and I'm not saying no to be a dick, but for, like, the better part of me, it's like, I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah. Now, like, if I'm just saying no to you because I'm, like, gonna binge a Netflix series, I feel like that's a little on the, like, I don't know. For me, it's like I probably wouldn't put off like something spontaneous for like, I gotta binge watch a Netflix series.
Depends on my mood.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm like my mental health is shot, my social battery is gone. Like if I go out, I'm gonna be a raging butthole.
Yeah.
So it's like no shot. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm a very like play it by ear.
Yeah, that is true. So, what is your favorite? Do you watch Netflix?
I do.
What's your favorite Netflix series? Do you have like this is the ultimate Netflix series, nothing beats it?
No. I have a lot that I like. I don't think I really have one that's like...
Would you have like a top 3 or top 2?
It's hard because I'm such like what am I feeling today? But the ones I've watched the most, there's 3 that... okay, I'm sure you've had Netflix series or TV shows that you've watched so much that sometimes you just have it on as background noise? Do you do that? I do it.
No, well, here's my thing, is I haven't watched Netflix in probably like 4 or 5 months, which is kind of weird, but when I do watch it, I'll get sucked into something and I'll have to sit down and watch it until it's done.
Interesting.
Right? So I think the last time I watched a Netflix series was probably about 6 months ago. Like, I haven't even turned on Netflix for that long. Maybe not 6 months. Pretty damn close. Probably 4 or 5 months. And like my thing, I got really sucked into Stranger Things.
Okay.
Fucking sick. Like, that is a sick series. And like every single time there's a new series out, I'm just like, this is it.
You're like, I'm
You know
staying
what
up
I mean?
all night.
Yeah, like I'll take a whole day and I won't, but I will feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn.
You always, there's that little bit of shame afterwards
Yeah.
that you're like, did I just do that?
Yeah.
At the same time, you're like, but it was worth it.
Yeah, but it was sick. I'm trying to think of the other one that I like to watch. I mean, you got to think about the.
Have you watched Forged in Fire?
Mm-mm. Gosh, there's one that's Squid Games. I watched that one full.
Oh my gosh, do you remember that was like, that was a big thing.
It was
for the
huge.
longest time.
It was huge.
And everyone was talking about like they're gonna make a real life one, and I was like,
Well, I think it was like Mr. Beast did that. So he's a big YouTuber. I don't know if you know him, but yeah, he did
gives away cars and money.
and a bunch of money. He did the real life one, and so he actually made a whole video about it.
I'm just kidding.
No, he wasn't actually killing people, but like they got eliminated as the process went on.
Eliminated, yeah.
Yeah.
Have we seen them since? No.
I mean, maybe not. I actually haven't even watched it myself. I think I've just watched snippets of it and stuff. And there's another one that I got into. I just can't. I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember which series it was, but there's just some that I just like to binge watch.
I'm super basic. Like Schitt's Creek, New Girl,
Yeah.
Outer Banks. That one is like fun to just like bullshit and
Yeah.
watch. I don't know. I like to watch Our Planet. The
Yeah, see,
narration
I can just tell you watch a lot of Netflix because there's a lot of that I do not know. You know, like some of those series I've never even heard of.
Really?
Yeah. But it's because like I said, I haven't turned on Netflix for like 5-6 months.
Your free time. Oh wait, you don't have free time because you're a busy boy.
Well, like, I don't know, like, if I'm at home, like, every night, what I'll turn on TV, like, when I'm, like, going to sleep or something, it's just usually SportsCenter night, because I surround myself around, like, what's going on in the NBA or MLB,
You were
whatever's
a
going
big
on.
baseball boy growing up.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say that I am now, though.
Really?
I like football a lot better.
Who's your team?
I mean, it's the Broncos, but if they don't get their shit together, then, I don't know, like, I'm going to have to ride with Cincinnati with Joe Burrow or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to find a team.
He's taken the internet by storm. All these
Yeah.
girls are simping over him.
Really? Yeah. I could see it. But what, like on Twitter or on like just
TikTok, there's
everything?
like a fan base of like everything Joe Burrow. I'm just like,
Huh. Oh, Joey
it's
eyes.
just like I mean, he's attractive, but it's at the same time, I'm like, he's just a simple
Yeah.
white boy.
He is just
He's just a fucking
simple
white
dude.
boy. He's
Yeah.
not like model style. Like if you saw him on the street, you wouldn't be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, not a normal looking human. A
Exactly.
decent looking dude. But it's because, it's like people make the montage and like the videos and edits of him that just make him out to be this Greek god, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, if I saw a guy in McDonald's, I'd be like, what's up, bro?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like people that are, like maybe chicks that don't even watch, you know, NFL games, they probably wouldn't even notice him. If he had his hoodie on and was wearing just like regular ass clothes in McDonald's, you probably wouldn't even know.
Yeah, it's always interesting.
So with all the personal space talk, do you use that? Do you feel like you need your personal space more than you need to interact with people?
I'm a people person. I'm a social butterfly.
Okay.
So there are times when my social battery's like just completely wrung out.
Yeah.
And that's when I'll go home and snuggle with my dog and eat tacos in bed and watch Netflix or something. But a lot of times I'll choose, and I'm not like a big drinker or partier, but I'll choose to go to the bars or go out just to socialize and hang out with my friends. Even if I have like one drink. But I do well. I feed off of other people's energy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a talker.
Yeah. Gosh, so yeah, but I like that. That's probably exactly, kind of like what I do. I think I like to party a little bit more. I don't know if that's exactly a bad thing, but the next morning I'm like, yeah, that was definitely a bad decision. I'm like, I don't know why the hell I did it. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, now I gotta go golf 9. Like, my eyes are like this, and I'm like, now I gotta go golf 9 holes, and I'm like texting my buddy, like,
I'm like, I can't.
I'll be like 5 minutes late, but I'll be there, trust me,
I have 2 pairs of sunglasses on, a hoodie, and a hat.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah, and then like my dumb ass, I'll like go out there, and then like, looks like we're drinking again.
Ugh, I'd be miserable.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I would literally be draped over the top of the golf cart. I'd be like, just take me. Just take.
Yeah, I do. Well, I don't do it. I wouldn't say I do that a whole lot, but there are weekends where I'm just like, this is my let loose weekend.
Gotta. Like, I've always thought, like, if you go wild, party, have fun, but you also have the balance and are able to get your shit dealt with, be a responsible adult, then so be it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely like, I like to do my shit a certain way, and I like to, I don't mind going to work. I don't mind, doing the podcast. I don't mind doing all this shit because I'm busy anyway. But that makes it even better, like, when I go out and, like, hang out with my friends and like, do that stuff. So that's why, like, most of the time I kind of go hard, and I'm like, wow, I went a little too hard.
You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I can remember this.
Yeah. But it's one of those things, like, I'm not a person to, like, go way hard where I'm, like, puking and rallying. I don't know how kids do that.
Yo, that stresses me out.
Yeah. Like, when I want to puke, like, I want to cry. Like, I'm crying. You know what I'm saying?
You're inconsolable. You're like...
Yes. If I feel like I'm going to puke, even if I'm sober and I just have to puke, and I don't know the last time I puked. It's been a really long time for that, too. But, like, when I get to that point, I feel so, like so bad about myself. Like, I hurt. Like, my stomach hurts. I'm like, I don't know how these kids drink a lot,
puke, and
they come back and let's go again.
See,
at 2 a.m.
If I've been drunk less than probably 15 times in my entire life. I'm always the DD. And it's mostly because, like, I just don't like the feeling.
Yeah.
I'll get a good buzz going.
Right.
But actually being drunk, for some reason, I struggle with a lot of, like, motion sickness doing anything. So the second I get drunk, I immediately am just like, I feel like shit. Oh. It's not fun. And that's why I do better with, like, a solid buzz. That's where I'm at my sweet spot. Like, I'll get lit.
Yeah, that is true.
But, like, in my mind, the second I'm throwing up, that is my cue that my night is over.
Yeah.
It's time to go home.
Oh, yeah.
Not like, all right, guys, I just threw up.
Yeah.
The past $200 of alcohol I just paid for. Let's go blow another $200.
Exactly. And, like, when I'm most of the time, if I'm getting to that point, like, I have the spins, right? Ugh. And so I don't even want to move. Yeah. Like, I just want to lay by the toilet, and, like, I guess I'm sleeping here tonight, because that literally is where I want to be when I'm, like, I don't even care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten the spins, I think, twice in my life. It's horrible. One of them was so bad to the point I was laying on my back in bed. I closed my eyes and the room was still spinning. Yep. And there was nothing. I was like trying to gamble with God. I was like, yo, take my left leg and make this feeling go away. Yeah. I was like, I don't care what happens. Make it stop. No, exactly. It sucks. I hate that feeling. I wouldn't say I've had the spins more than probably, like 2 or 3 times, because I do not want to get to that point. Tragic. Yeah. It's like all hope is lost. And I don't get the point, like, the people that you can tell, they are so far gone, but they're still functioning. Like, they're walking around, and you can tell they're sloshed. Like, they can barely stand up, but they're still, like, down to keep going. Yeah. I hit that point, and I'm like, I want to die. Yeah, like, exactly. Call an ambulance. Yeah. And tell them to sedate me or something, because I'm done. These people are like, they can't stand up, but they're like, let's keep going. I'm like, how? Yeah, I know. Do you not feel sick? It's crazy. Some of those guys can just get it, and I'm like, this is wild, because when I get to that point, all I want to do is just be at home. I don't even know if I really care where I'm at that point. I am where I am. Yeah, I would just panic. I'd be like, where's my phone? I'd call my mom. I'm like, Mom. Yeah. She's like, what? Like, I don't know what to do. It's scary stuff. So when you drink really heavily, let's just say, I guess the few times that you have in your life, are you a big breakfast person after something like that? Or does that make you even feel more worse? That's what I've got in my life. I'm like, So I just got plastered.
And now let's go to IHOP. It's
and now I'm eating like a
with
pancake stack of 7 pancakes with all this syrup coming off.
You're
of it.
sitting there like there's a bunch of families coming in from church, and you're like got shades on, and you're slumped in the corner of the booth, and
you
you're
haven't
like,
even taken a shower
why
yet.
am I?
Yeah.
I'm not a big breakfast person in general.
Really?
Oh yeah, no. I'll eat my first meal at like 5 p.m.
Wow.
It's bad. Yeah.
Wow, so you like fast?
Not purposely.
Really?
I just work. Like I'll get like caught up in something, or I'll be like doing something and I just forget to eat, or I'm just like I don't get like. It gets to the point where sometimes in the morning, if I try and eat, I'll instantly get nauseous. I'll just like I'm gonna vomit. I don't know why. But if sometimes I'm in the mood for like I'm a big to be fair, like if you say brunch, I'm there.
Right.
You know, brunch goes hard.
It does go hard. Yeah.
But
I agree with you.
I don't know. Okay. Kind of off topic.
Okay.
But I heard this on a podcast, and they were debating this, and I need to know your thoughts. Is it still considered brunch if you're not drinking at like mimosas or anything like that? Is it still considered brunch?
For me, yeah, it's considered brunch. Yeah.
Okay.
That's breakfast and lunch. I don't think it has anything to do
I don't know
with...
because like there was one of the guys was like absolutely not, like you have to have like you gotta be bottoms up drinking at
Now, okay,
to be brunch.
Okay, but you gotta ask me the right question. When I go to brunch, am I usually drinking? Yes. Yeah. So I can see where that standpoint comes from, because you don't go to brunch often. And when you do go to brunch, it always seems like kind of a more special occasion, almost.
See, the first thing I think when someone says brunch, I think mimosas and Bloody Marys.
Yeah, me too.
No one says brunch, and I'm like, oh, right between breakfast and lunch. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get fucked up at a cafe at noon.
Yeah.
While, some family is on a nice afternoon outing.
Yeah.
And I'm just feral.
Yeah, but my thing is like, have I went to a brunch and not gone drink before? Yes.
That sounds tragic.
I went to a sober brunch before, like,
ugh.
I think the last one I went to, actually I don't even know if I was sober now that I think about it.
See, in my mind though,
I think it was my grandma's birthday, so
you're like trying.
I was like, shit.
You're like,
I'm gonna need a drink.
I'm sober. And they're like, Logan, you're like, what?
Yeah, they're like, what do you want to drink? And like all my cousins had ordered like mimosas, and I'm like, well, you talked me into it,
Twist my arm.
Exactly. I think that's the only time I fall under peer pressure, like what we were talking about earlier.
I'm the type, I'll have a mimosa at like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
If I'm up to it. I'm like,
yeah.
Give me some orange juice and some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, because in my mind, if I've ever I don't think I've ever gone to brunch without having at least one drink.
Right.
So to me, it's like either at that point, once it's a certain time, it's like, all right, we're having a late lunch or like a late breakfast, early lunch.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever called it like brunch.
Brunch,
Because at brunch, I'm like, I'm gonna get fucked up.
Yeah. So do you do dunches? A dinner lunch or a, what would you call that? Do they call it dunch? Is that what it's called?
Linner? I don't know.
Or linner?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's either a dunch or a linner.
Both sound awful.
Yeah.
I don't know, because...
It's like a 3:30 p.m. meal.
But old people eat dinner at that time, so technically...
I would say 5 is the old people.
No. If we go to the fucking nursing home right now, I assure you, they're like, yeah, we had dinner like 6 hours ago.
Yeah, that's true, but they woke up at fucking 2 a.m. Yeah. My grandma is notorious for that. She's like, well, I woke up at 2 a.m. and I made dinner. And it's like, what? And she's like, yeah, I made my dinner. So at 3, I can whip it up and warm it up. I'm like, why don't you just make dinner at dinner so it's fresh?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? You have way too much time on your
You're like,
hands.
last time I did that, make dinner at 3 a.m., I was 17 shots deep.
Yeah. Like, I'm still up at 2 a.m., taking shots of, Eddie's
You're
lemonade.
getting home, and she's like, good morning.
Good morning. And she's, already cooking dinner for the next day.
Yo, can you imagine if you're just fucked up, and you, came home, and she was cooking dinner, and you're like, what time is it?
Exactly. You came home, and your grandma's, making dinner. You're like, wait.
You're like,
actually,
shit.
I'd be like, actually, this is perfect. You know what I mean? You come in at 2, you're drunk, and you're saying a full dish of spaghetti's been made for you, fresh.
And she's like, no, this is for me in 12 hours.
I'd be like, forget about it. You're making yourself another
I'd be
batch.
like,
Yeah.
SWAT.
Yeah, I'd be in it to win it. Gosh, yeah, there's something about that. But there are kids out there that go a little too hard when it comes to partying. I'm not like that. I don't think I ever will be, but...
If you're the drunk that's just like up everyone's ass and annoying, that's when I'm like, okay, you're ruining the fun for everyone else.
Yeah. Like you, I'm an energy, like a vibe. I'll read the vibe, and if it's not my vibe, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just can't stand drunk girls, dude. It's so
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
I was talking to my girlfriends, and it's so true. You'll be in like a fucking bathroom, and one girl will be vomiting, the other one will be like pissing right next to her.
Yeah.
And then they'll just stumble out and they'll be like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love your kneecaps. And it's like,
You're like, what?
You're like,
What did you
say? Yeah. And they're like, they're just so pretty.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm like,
Yeah, girls do tend to get that way.
it's bad.
I mean, I haven't experienced it really firsthand, but I haven't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I've been into a women's restroom before.
You're like, I just hang out.
But, like, with the women I've interacted with, and you know that they're drunk just by the things they say or how their voice changes, you're like, oh.
Oh, it's
all right.
the high pitch.
It's a wrap.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's a wrap.
gosh.
Yeah. That's exactly how it is for me, and I'm just like, all right, well, I'll just go hang out with the boys now.
So, in your experience, do girls, when they're like super shit-faced, are they super flirty and is it like super cringy? Or are they like all over you? Or is it just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this bitch? What do you want from me?
A little bit of both. Like, I think both. I think. Yeah. I mean, there are women that tend to, be on one side a little heavier than the other. But I'd say, yeah, sometimes I get to the point where I'm like, yeah, maybe they get pretty flirty or whatever, and I'm just like, hit the brakes, but then they like keep pursuing, and then eventually I'm like, fuck out of here.
I'm a virgin, don't touch me.
Yeah, like get out. Yeah, exactly. Like,
Get away.
I don't want no part of you no more. Like, or they'll just say something really stupid.
Okay, here's my question, because I feel like everyone's probably experienced this, maybe not. Have you ever like met someone at a bar or like a party and you're like vibing with them and you're like, sick, cool, I like your vibes,
Yeah.
you're chill, and then they get to that point of drunk where then it's just like a 180 and you're like, I can't fucking stand you.
No, I don't think I have.
Into it.
I don't think I have.
Oh.
I think I've ran into other men that are kind of like that. Where I'm like, at first I was like, when I walked in this party, like the guy said, what's up? He seemed really cool. And then by the end of it, he's like the guy that's like, hitting all the beer bongs and just doing crazy shit. Where I'm like, wait, that's the same guy that they're like, yeah, man. I'm like, what?
You're like, yeah, hard fast, bro.
Yeah.